We're making a bomber, damn it. The thing's gotta look bomby. Hello everyone who's just, wondering how to get their ding-dang plane into the sky. I am BorderWise and welcome back to From the Depths. Today we're continuing on a series I started and then kind of stopped, but we're coming back to it because apparently it has been helpful to people. Building a complete plane. Now, I think it's been so long I forget what exactly I've covered and what I haven't, but we've done a propeller plane, we've done a jet plane, but we're going to do specifically today a bomber, or more specifically two types of bomber if I can squeeze it into one video. Do not worry, this is not it, this is the mock-up. First thing to do, kill Rambot, there they go, buy Rambot, and destroy everything, and we're going to get cracking. So to start off with our bomber, I have a very specific idea in mind, and as ever, this kind of video is very much like, this is guidelines, this is how I do things, you might want to do things different, that is okay, From the Depths is all about that kind of thing. So, to start off with, we are going to place the local weapon controller, of all things, and are we going to have a very compact little fella? I think we are, so we're going to have a little stone thing here. I like to use stone poles if I want to make something very compact. Again, you do not have to do this. This is basically, poles are good armor if you've got, like, real constraints on, like, space requirements, because it'll be enough of an air gap to stop a small heat shell, and it's reasonably fireproof, reasonably EMP-proof, and that will be nice. So we're going to do something like that now, and then over here, we're going to have our missile controller, and over here on this missile controller, what can we do here? So, 1, 2, yep, that'll probably work. We could be extra cunning, actually, and do something like this. We probably don't even need an all-in-one local weapon control. Actually, we do, for a very specific reason. All-in-one local weapon controllers, you can put... We don't need to put detection on this at all. What am I doing? Anyway, we're going to set this, and we're going to set to like that, because that way... we can do fun things here. We can put the local weapon controller over there, backspace, and is that controlling it? Yes, it is. Very nice indeed. And we're going to put an identify friend or foe over there, and we're going to have connectors here. And we're going to use large missiles for this, because bombers in From the Depths do their best work when bomb big. Generally, large missiles are much better at dealing damage than medium or small. I think we're going to be somewhat restrained and have some of that. So we've got our identify. Oh, jeez, every time with this. Missile control is always weird like that. Alright, so, and a bit of a, where is it, staggered fire. So, you have a lot of options for bombs in From the Depths. Generally speaking, I prefer to use radar-guided bombs, because magnets are a little bit, well, funky. So right now we got 3. There's also a reason I'm using rail gantries for this, and that is because you can connect them in the middle, and you can thread them all the way through your craft. So this craft is, what is this craft going to do? It's going to be something like this. This is not going to be a small thing, but small bombers generally aren't that good to begin with. So we've got an active radar seeker. We're going to have, I don't know, an explosive warhead there. We need an APN, and we need a fin. And actually we're going to have a fin over here, and over here we're going to have a signal processor so the thing doesn't get distracted. And that is basically our bomb, and this is important for bombs. If they don't need fuel, then you don't do that. Instead, we're going to have... What are we going to have? Free internal space... We're going to have, actually, free internal space used for HE. That is a crap ton of HE damage. Excessively so. So now, where's our HE? 15,000 or close to it is, like, really good. So instead, we're going to do that, and I'm going to set this to my favorite kind of setting for Oxidizer, which is 0.3. Yes, that does reduce the damage a lot, but... I forget exactly what Oxidizer does, because stupidly the tooltips don't explain it everywhere. I think it actually is explained over in the flamethrower section. What is it? Oxidizer. What does Oxidizer? Yeah, it doesn't actually say here. That is somewhat annoying. Is that, like, the tooltips don't say what Oxidizer does. That's a bit of an oversight. I think the devs have, like, might hear way too much from people who play this game a lot. But in any case, I should probably... Yep, there we go. And we're going to set it to... We're going to set it to 0.5. That generally does the trick. And guidance activation delay is like so. Warhead arming delay, we're going to set a little bit lower. And so now we have our Le Bon. Our Le Bon. Alright, so now we're going to actually put the AI over... What are we going to put it here? We're going to put it right here. Do we need general purpose processing power? Not really. But it could be helpful. We could actually shrink this somewhat. We can't actually. So aim point selection, we don't need that. Target prio. We literally don't need any detection on this at all. Not really. Maybe we could do this. Actually, we do need a wireless snooper at the very least. It does help a little bit. Yeah, we'll just have something like that. And there's it is handy to leave extra space in your AI department, as I like to call it. For upgrades and stuff, because you can stick breadboard and stuff in here, and it's just very handy. So, speaking of, we are almost certainly going to bread this. If you don't know how to use bread, do not panic. We will get this thing flying without bread first. So we are going to, what are we going to do? We are going to do, whoops. We're going to just thread some alloy poles through here. Again, this is volume efficient armor rather than genuinely good armor. I would hesitate to do this with anything else. So we got a fuselage of some kind there. Very interesting, like so. And if we've got something like this, I'm gonna do something like this. And you know what's a good idea? Mirror mode. We love mirror mode. It allows us to mirror things. And let's go there, and let's go there. We're gonna need a little bit more stuff over here. In fact, I have a bad habit of over-armoring things, but at the same time, you don't want a single little 30mm heat gun to ruin your day with this. So, some armor better than no armor. Alright, that should probably do the trick. That should probably do the trick. That should probably do the trick. Oh, yeah. Remember, there's nothing that you can't fix with decoration if you want to. Alright, so this is crap armor, but this thing is not supposed to get hit that often. So now, we need to think about what else we're going to do. We're going to use custom jets, because custom jets are a very good idea. In fact, the custom jets are going to go on the side, so it's an actual kind of wonder what I'm doing here. Alright, so we don't need engines, but we do need fuel. Fuel's going to go in the front. So we're going to copy this whole thing. Copy this whole thing. Copy this whole thing. I'm probably going to need a lot of stuff like so. There we go. Is this ideal? It ain't, but it will do. We have a fuselage of sorts with rudimentary heat defenses. Rudimentary, I say. Rude. Elementary, Watson. Alright, let's go there. Right, not a huge help around the missile department, but that is okay. Wait, we can do this instead. We are gonna have to remember to put surge protectors and stuff on here. It's gonna be lots of stuff like that. Right, this is crap armor, but it is hopefully good enough crap armor. So, we are going to put ammunition back here. So for that, we need to copy-paste this whole thing right there. We've already done that. Good, good, good. So, I have philosophies about, like, what exactly is the spot on your plane which gets hit the least. So that, and we're gonna just stick over here. heavy armor poles like this, just to contain all our stuff. How much do we need? We need actually quite a sizable ammo compartment for this, so it is going to be a lot. Hopefully this does not set off the entire bloody thing. And we are needing to use heavy armor for this, because unfortunately, metal just won't do, pig. Alright, how much is that? We need a little bit more. We need a smidge more. This is not, unfortunately, this is not staggered out, because we're making this as compact as possible. The whole point of a bomber, by the way, is to undercost the thing it's trying to shoot at, so... Yes. Oh, interesting. Alright, so that should hopefully do the trick. Hopefully it'll do the trick. It's also very rear heavy, by the way, which in From the Depths is kind of a good thing, but hopefully that'll frickin' do. Did I arrange those correctly? Yes, I did. And over here, we are going to make some effort to make this good. We're going to seal this off with something like this. Just a bit, and now we're going to do funky things with holes, because it is useful to do that. I'm going to preemptively stick some fuel in here. That is asymmetric, and that is on purpose. Alright then, so now we need custom jets. Custom jets, custom jets, custom jets, custom jets. And I'm going to trim this off, make it look a little bit more streamlined. Cannot emphasize enough, this is how I'm making this thing, and you are free to do it differently. So, here's the fun thing. We're not going to armor the custom jets at all, because again, we want this thing to undercost things, and if it's fast enough, it shouldn't need armor that much. Just be sure not to send it against anything with a hit-scan weapon, or you will have a very bad day indeed. What do we want here? We want compressors all the way over here, and then a jet controller, jet generator, just in case we need one. We can probably... What does this need? Actually, I'm going to replace that with the combustor, and let's see how much more fuel we need. We need a lot of fuel, so we are going to get some more fuel here, like so. And in case anyone's wondering, yeah, go fast is a good idea. One more, and here's... That is good. That is very good. Actually, we need more still. Honestly, could have done better with the fuel department. See, we actually can do better on the fuel department. Turn off mirror mode. Do this. I like how the fuel is sectioned off, but the ammunition isn't. Very good priorities, me. Very good priorities. Right, now that does the trick. Jolly good. And now we can probably shape that into a cockpit, so we have somewhere to put our pilot. What did you think I was gonna say? No, let's spill it out now. What did you think was gonna be said? We're going to have a long wedge here. Maybe we can deco that as a cone later. And we're gonna have something like this for maximum conage. Yes, that is the technical term. Yes, coming together. I am accidentally making a bootleg V1 Lancer, I'm realizing. Definitely didn't just watch a video of that, did I? So, let's see here. You know what? I'm just going to preemptively paint a fake cockpit on here, because here's a fun thing about From the Depths. It actually helps to kind of like deco your stuff as you go. Well, just think about aesthetics as you go, because it really does help to keep your motivation up. That looks silly. We're going to do something slightly different. And I'll do something like that, do something like that, and then do something like this. There we go, that is a cockpit. And then we're going to do this. This is a big fella, but that's because it's using large bombs. That tends to be what happens. If you wanted a small bomber, well, do this, but smaller, I guess. But there's problems with using bombers in the first place, which we can definitely get into. Oh, that, by accident, actually looks kind of sweet. Not gonna lie, it looks pretty sweet. Let's put some transition blocks in there. Happy little transition blocks. I feel like Bob Ross is like, we're just gonna make some happy little transition blocks. They're so happy to be here, aren't you? And a bit, I don't know, we'll just put some beams in there, reinforce. This thing now has a chin. Now we need to do this as well. Need to do this as well. Splendid. There we go. We now have a nice chin. We could even, if we really wanted to, look at this thing's beak. What a beak. Alright now. So now we need control. So I'm going to do this, turn that all off. And on the rear here, we're going to have, well, we need to rapidly seal this off. As rapidly as possible. So we're going to go there, and then we're going to go over here. Handy block reducing feature. This adds up a lot, by the way. Especially if you have a big battle. You're going to need to dial back your ambition just a smidge. Okay, there we go. There we go, there we go. Mario theme. It's got a little bit of a gap on its booty. Always have a gap on your booty, it's good for you. I'm trying to remember now if plane have this kind of feature. How expensive is this? This is pretty... It's pretty expensive. 74,000 materials is no joke, but send a bomber against the right target, it actually can work really, really well. I am going to... What am I going to do here? I'm going to do my usual try. I'm not going to go super fancy on this. Okay, so that's what that looks like. I always like to do things in fours, by the way, so let's do something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there, and what's over here? Maybe one more. Yes, perfect. And something like this. You don't need to do wings like this, by the way. I just like doing them because I think it looks cool. So now we're gonna have some stuff over here, and it's gonna be set over here. That is set to pitch. Jolly good. We can actually sneak some extra pitch control right in the front. Probably a good idea. Where is this? Where is this? Where is this? Dennis Moore, riding through the night. Alright, let's stick some extra pitch control right over here in the front. And there you go. There you go, there you go. Splendid. You'll notice we are not using... we're not using wing blocks at all. You do not need them. And let's do something like... You know what would be really cool is if we did something like this. Actually, let's do something like this instead. That doesn't actually work, so never mind. We won't do that. My builds are always a matter of figuring out as I go, just a little bit. Just a smidge. Just a smidge, just a smidge. Excellent. Alright, so there's that. And now, remember what we did here? We're going to do something slightly different now. We are going to do... I mean, we could just leave it at that. That would be pretty dope. We need... Let's have a fin. Let's have a fin. Let's have a fin. Let's have a thing over here. You know what we could do, actually, is back here we could add some yaw. Yoink. Try not to get hit right on the butt. And then we're going to have a somewhat decorative fin thing. Similar in theme to the wings, because that's a good idea. And we're going to just 1, 2, and then 1, 2. Is that what aircraft wing looked like? Nope, no it does not. Let's try that again. Aircraft tail fin, I should say. Maybe just like this. Yeah, basically just have to keep doing it until it looks right. Alright, there we go. Is this successive blocks? Yes it is, but we're making a bomber, damn it. The thing's gotta look bomby. Alright, that looks pretty bomby. Alright, we should probably save it. Should have done that. Like, if you were looking at your screen right now and panicking because I hadn't saved the damn thing, you were correct to panic slightly. Alright, so now we can actually set those to roll as well. That would be pretty good. Let's set it to... Let's go to tutorial craft. Let's see what's here. Let's set this to example bomber 1. Jolly good. And now we need to get this thing flying. So you might notice that this whole thing's made out of alloy. Alloy is a good I don't know what to make this out of material because it'll probably fly and probably float if you manage this. So let's see if it flies well without breadboard and see how we do. So we're going to go here, behavior. There are a number of things here you can do attack runs. What I personally like to do with bombers is just literally have it hover above. And that makes it not only kind of idiot-proof, but also it means that the thing is constantly turning, which makes it a lot harder to hit. But before we do that, I just remembered I need to do something quite important here. If we want this to, we're going to set the range limit to something like 500 meters, and altitude bracket to like -10, because that's what we want. And totally good. Super, lovely, lovely. And this thing should be floaty enough to get itself up and out of the water. Hopefully. Maybe. Maybe. Alright, let's see if that works. Alright, so we're just gonna do hover above below. Actually, I'll show you the attack run first, that makes sense. So attack run 1. If you're wondering what attack run 3.0 is like, it's a combination of these two. So disengage altitude, I'm gonna set that quite high. Begin attack run when beyond, let's say 1,000 meters. Wait 15 seconds. We'll start with that. Every vehicle's a little bit different. So yeah, now we're gonna go for airplane 2.0, pitch to target altitude, maximum pitch. Let's set that to 35 degrees. How are we doing? Ah, this thing does not have good pitch control, does it? Okay, let's see here. Right, what are you set to? Let's also set you to roll left, and let's also set you to roll right. There we go. Alright, this thing is fast as hell. Unfortunately, it keeps flying into the water. Which means we need to do this. Max altitude 500, terrain protection time like so. Up and out of the water, if you please. It seems to be struggling because it has... Why are you... What is your problem? There we go. Alright, we might need to put some balloons on this if it keeps doing that. In fact, this is a high-speed bomber, which means we probably really need to do that. There we go. In fact, with this sine wave movement is on purpose, by the way. So, let's see. Let's set that to 25 degrees. Or maybe even less, actually. Right, where are you trying to get to? Okay, it's turning quite nicely. So now we're going to make sure the thing actually works correctly. And I always like to bring things to a dead stop before they do anything else. So let's see if we can do this. There's always test, always test. Wait. I just remembered, I didn't say... Okay, no, disengage. Attack run altitude should be, let's say, 300 meters. So now that's a nice spread of bombs, and hooray! We have successfully made a bomber. Now that was the first attack run. Let's see if it. Let's see if the second one actually runs. Also, it's a good idea as a starting point to match the attack run speed to the reload time of the bombs. So let's go do that. 23 seconds. Did manage to drop some more. Yeah, because you don't want the bombs to drop like when the thing is like flown completely over the top of it. That would be bad. And also, given that this thing is flying so fast, the bombs spread out quite naturally. So let's do that. Jolly good. Look at this thing bombing things. Jolly good, jolly good. I don't know what this thing reminds me of. I think maybe the B-1 Lancer? Maybe not. Alright, let's try that again, but with something that kind of shoots back a little bit. So let's do... This is a 77,000 thing. Let's throw this against some kind of $77,000 ship. Let's throw it against the Contraband. Can this thing evade missiles on its own? Because we don't actually have any missile evasion on it just yet. Let's see, you go there. It drops its bomb. It fires its missile, rather. And we drop our bombs, and they go wee. Bombs are good. And successful bombing run. Perfect. Lovely, lovely. Alright, so that's the basic bomber. Now let's bread this thing, because that'll make life a lot easier. I have shown this before, and you know what else we're gonna do? We could drop flares, we could do all kinds of things. What shall we do? You know what? We should... I'm not gonna do the spinny decoy thing, because that's kind of lame. So instead, we are going to... We're gonna have decoys in the wingtips, since there they are, I guess. Alright, so now we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do... jet generators, because jet generators are really nice and cool, rockin' cool, nice and cool, so juicy, sweet. Also, while we're here, we are going to stick, what are we going to do here? We need a breadboard. What is that? AI connector. Going to show you from scratch, breadboard. But before we do that, we can do multiple things in here. Alright, so we're going to do altitude above average sea level, above wave level. Wait, no, that's the input. We want what do we want to do? I actually don't know how to do this in breadboard. Interesting. AI maneuver output, Alright, I'm just going to set up the 3D vectoring, and I'm going to use ACBs for this because, like, I just realized I don't know how to deploy balloons with breadboard, which is quite embarrassing. We could probably stick these out in the front, really. Why not? Why not? So, over here, what do we got? We got target action, condition. Let's go vehicle stats. Where is it? Vehicle attitude. Let's do altitude. If it is between that and, say, 10, it should be over... altitude over sea in terrain, actually. 0 being mean sea level. Sea or terrain, okay. Let's do that instead, just generally pretty good idea. And there. If anyone knows how to set this up in breadboard, do say so in the comments below. I probably could figure it out eventually, but, like, I don't know. I record videos by the seat of my pants, and, yeah, so balloons is activate, so okay, blah, 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 blah. And then, if it's over 10 to, whoops, if it's over 10 to that, you deactivate balloons, disable balloons, and we go find the balloon block. Who remembers balloons? Interesting. Huh. There we go, there's some balloons. So if we turn that off, and I'm gonna save it, and it is going to gently flop into the ocean, and it's quite rear heavy, thankfully, which means it'll naturally want to aim its nose up. Kind of bad for us, actually, because that means it's a little bit sinky. And balloons activated, which means if we do this, that actually is not helping because it's dipping the jets in the ocean. Right, so if I recall correctly, the way to fix this, altitude, we need to set to this actually, it's been a long time since I've actually used these. I'm so used to my stuff being light enough that they can get themselves up and out of the water. There we go. I'm actually going to set that to be even more generous. I'm going to set that to 60. And I'm going to put some balloons in the booty. In das Booty! Because if your plane gets shot down, and it's like bouncing in and out of the border, that actually makes it harder to hit. Which, does help a little bit for distracting things. Let's try that again. Let's see that. Whee! Down you go, down you go, down you flop into the thing. I'm definitely not vamping to remember how I'm supposed to do breadboard. I can fix the nose actually a little bit as well. So now we've done that. Balloons are activated. Whee! Splendid. Okay, I'm going to fix the nose, because I just noticed that, and it bothers me just a smidge. As much as I like this beak shape right here, we are going to swap it out for a wedge. We're going to do that. Nice wedgy kind of thing. There we go. Actually, that still looks a bit funny. I'm going to do something slightly different. This is not ideal. The wedges are better for, like, speed, so to speak. Let's do... What do we do? We're gonna do... this. Let's do this as well, since we're here. Hell yes! Always fun to give this an interesting shape. Alright, so... what do we want here? We want a 4 to 3 meter? Okay. Transition left. Nope, we don't want that. We want something slightly different. We want something slightly different. We want something slightly different. I found a different thing. It's probably playing merry hell with the aerodynamics, but it's okay. We have, that makes it look more like a space shuttle. Alright. I was mentioning breadboard. In case you haven't noticed, this is not scripted. I'm just, like, channeling my inner bomb-making ability. Wow, that's gonna put me on a watch list. Alright, you... shh, be silent. Alright, where is that breadboard? Here it is. Alright, so let's see if I can remember how to do this from scratch. So, what we got? We got a propulsion input, which we're gonna set to... firstly, pitch, because that's most important. And where is it? This is input, and we got yaw, and then we got pitch roll, pitch roll. Alright, so we got, hold on, we can copy paste this. So pitch goes there. Thank goodness for the new UI of breadboard. Thank goodness indeed. And over there. Right, so that's our basic setup, and now it needs to thread into... what do we need? We need a multiplier over there, so we're going to set up yaw first. So multiply is going to be times 15, or times minus 15 actually, because the jets are pointing backwards. And generic block setter, we're going to go over there. And they're going to be jet controller, and these are just going to be set to jet. So naming these jets like so. They're going to be controlling the yaw angle, which is there. Effect toggle. Right, so now we need to remember to name our jets. So this is going to be right jet, looking at it from the rear. And over here is going to be left jet. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. So now we need to go find... I'm going to put a chair and a control-y thing here. Over here. Chair and vehicle controller. Is that actually lined up with the cockpit? It almost is, actually. How about that? Also, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. No, I'm not, actually. I'm going to do this. Alright, so now that we've done that, does this work? Apparently not. Why not? Oh, right, because I haven't connected this thing yet. There we go. That should work. So if I want to turn right... yes! Perfect! working beautifully. Alright, now, pitch. Need to set that up. So, pitch and pitch. So now, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to set this to pitch angle. Pitch angle, I'm going to set this to right jet first. We're going to do... What are we going to do? We're going to find a sum. Where is the sum? Where did I put my... There it is. So put a sum. Copy that, because we're going to need it again over there. And we're going to need multipliers as well. Multiply. And that's also going to be times 15. Copy that. Control-C, Control-V. Thank goodness for new updated breadboard thingy. We're going to do that, and that's going to be left jet. And this is all going to be like so. Do I remember how to do this? Pitch, roll, and this is right jet, so this is all going to be like this. Oh yeah, there's multipliers that need to be stuck into the roll, I just remembered. So, roll positive. So roll to the right. Right is always positive. Okay, so that stays as is. If I remember this correctly, I have a prefab for this, and I should probably check it. But you know what's more fun? Seeing if I've done things correctly the hard way. Maybe I'm silly. Okay, go there, and go there, and that's pitch angle, pitch angle. Alright, so now let's see if we've done that correctly. So roll is I and Y. If I want to roll to the right, that is working. If I want to roll to the left, that is also working. Perfect. Alright, we've set up our thrust vectoring breadboard. Splendid. So now, if I want to do this, now this thing yours. Now this thing can do crazy tricks, and it's really cool. Thrust vectoring is really, like, mwah, so good. Don't have to use breadboard for it, but it's just so nice, so nice, so nice. We're also going to adjust our attack run a little bit. Disengage altitude, we're going to set that to... Let's set that to 450. Remembering that attack run altitude is going to be 400. That seems pretty good, actually. Now we're going to try this on something that shoots back a little bit. Shoots back a little bit better, because remember, the point of a bomber is to exploit the weakness of something that does not shoot at fast things very well. So let's go find what is a ship that does not shoot at fast things very well. We're going to shoot at a cram thing. I haven't even... Whoop! I forgot the important thing. The important thing is to do that. Jolly good, jolly good. Jolly good, jolly good. Alright, so let's try for the Outlaw, because this thing... I believe this thing has missiles, so... This is a very fast bomber. Right, so we did get hit there. That's not ideal. Doesn't matter, because we have managed to explode this thing spectacularly well. And we've only slowed down a little bit, actually. Alright, I forgot to set the intensity of the thingy-bobby, what's it? Alright, so now... How are you functioning, sir? Right, you've managed to outrun the missiles. That's very nice. Aha! Uh-oh! Aha! Here is where I've messed up a little bit. Because one of those is not doing what it's supposed to be. No, it is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Never mind, it's all good. Right, so this is the point where we need to actually put some defenses on this, eh? There we go. Alright, so defenses. We have how much in the way of things? Alright, so... We're just gonna do some simple bread right here. Where is it? Okay, there. So, enemy... Oh, lordy, what happened here? Oi, go back there. What the hell? What the hell happened? Wow, bread, jeez. That is a very annoying bug. Like, frickin'... Stay like that, please. Alright, so... What do we got? We got... Primary target info if it exists. Wait, hang on a second. Target velocity... Wait, no, we should do that if missiles are detected. Event input... Let's see. Missile reloaded. Da, 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 da. Projectile has been noticed. Probably not a good idea. Where... Stability, conflict event input. Event input probably would be the way you do this. Let's try that. I haven't tried that yet, so... There's nothing specifically for missile, but, missile reloaded. Nah, let's not do that. Okay. Enough with the experimentation. We have room in this little AI department for ACBs, and by gum, we're going to use them. So what are we going to do? We're going to go here. So we're going to go there. What have we got? What have we got? So we're going to have... What do we got? Alright, so missile... We're going to have decoys in the wings, and that should do us just fine. Alright, so... Target, enemy, missiles, torpedoes, missiles within 3,000 meters. It is going to set radar decoys to... What is half of that? Let's set that to 2,400. I think they can't actually... Yeah, they can only go that high. We have a lot of power, by the way. And here, and... There are no missiles like that. Set it to 0. And then same thing over here. Again, my breadboard knowledge is a little bit spotty. I know how to do some things. I do not know how to do others. We're gonna set to where's heat decoys. Where? Ha! Heat decoys. There we go. Set it to that. If there are missiles within blah blah blah, set heat decoys to 1,000. And if they're there, we're going to set... I never remember where the damn thing is. Where is it? Oh, let's do... Set radar decoys, heat decoys to 0. There we go. Beautiful. Now we actually need to place the decoys. That would be a good idea. We're going to place them annoyingly all the way over here. So, we're gonna do, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do something like this. This should be decent enough. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. And missile detected requires munition defense, so we are going to absolutely ruin the aesthetics of our build here by putting munition warners all willy-nilly. Although you can cheat a little bit by sinking them into the craft a little bit. If you do this, yep, so that's not going to mess with aerodynamics anymore. It's rather surprising I haven't thought of this sooner. What the? Aha! Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Ha 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 ha! So hopefully that will not bollocks it up. Hopefully it won't bollocks it up. That's what we say. That's what we say to Jim. And alloy beam is literally just there. Do that, and we also need... What do we got? We got sideways, we got up, and now we got down. This one can sit outside, because that's very nice. Man, I love the snoot on this thing. It looks nice. Alright, so now let's see if that works. If it messes with things. And we can always add flares if we really want to. But you know what's even better than active defenses? It's just flying really fast at a distance. It works very well. Alright, so what were we testing against? We need to test against the thing I was at, the Outlaw. Because that has missiles. And that simply will not do. Is it going to work? Interesting. That didn't work at all. Aha! I think I might have learned something here. Maybe this does need to be sticking out like so. View is clear and the stability changes direction, range to blah blah blah. Let's try that. Let's do experimentation. Are you fully repaired? Yes, you are. Hey, 777! Block count is 777! Hell yeah! Alright, so let's try that again. Let's see. Okay, good news. Good news is that I can undo all the munition warners because this thing actually flies too fast for munition warners to work properly. Let's see here. Stability changes that. That is an important feature. Very important. Let's go here. Let's go. Remove what we just did. But hey, the armor held. Got hit with little missiles. Didn't die immediately. Very nice. Very nice indeed. So now we're going to change that ACB to enemy detected within. Alright, we're going to switch that to enemy. No enemy within 3,000 meters. And enemy again. Where is it? Enemy within 3,000 meters. If there are enemy within. This is more wasteful because it means the decoys are going to be rolling, even if there's no enemies, but it doesn't actually change the amount of resources consumed by the custom jet, so it hopefully shouldn't be that much of a waste. If there's an enemy within there, and now enemy within range, inverted. Right, let's try that again. It's interesting to see how things work. Yes, yes. This has taken a while, but it's okay. Alright, let's try it again. Outlaw, where you go? There you go. Oh, look at that! They aimed for the wingtips, and they missed horribly. Perfect! That'll frickin' do. I'm just gonna go check the missiles again. Make sure that they're set correctly. Yes, they are. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright, so that is the disadvantage of just using decoys all lazy like that. So I'm gonna go back here. Maneuver, no behavior. Let's wait for 25 seconds before starting a new attack run. Hooray! Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Hooray! Now, it did occur to me I did make a bomber tutorial like way back in the day, and it was pretty good. So if you haven't seen that, that is a golden opportunity to go back and see if I ever contradicted myself. Right, so that is a successful bomber. But I wanted to show you something specific about this fella. You know what? I want to go bomb some Onyx Watch stuff, because that's fun. First things first, let's give this thing a sweet camouflage texture. Alloy texture, we're going to go camo night. 1. Excellent. I'm going to do wing texture as well. Camo night 1. And we're going to change. We're going to change this to be extra shiny. Hell yeah. Now it looks really dope. Okay, so let's go bomb an Onyx Watch thing just for fun. Not the halberd, we would die immediately. Let's bomb the brandy stock. Oh, you used cram cannons when I have a plane. You blinking silly billy. Yay! Trying to remember what munition defense this has. The answer is it doesn't. Also, I believe the brandy stock is actually a torpedo carrying ship rather than anything else. Alright, are you reloading? Looks like we're going to have to be more generous with that time. Yeah, we could endlessly tweak this a little bit. Yeah, I'm just gonna go back. How did you get damaged? What happened to you? Oh, you got hit in the tum-tum. Oh, wow. Looks like that was just enough armor to not die immediately. Well, let's modify this a little bit. Tack run. I'm going to wait a full 30 seconds, and I'm going to delete the brandy stock, and I'm going to actually put some stuff here. And we're going to... Whoops. I'm going to change this to poles. Actually going to change that to heavy armor, because that'll be Very nice. And same thing over here. Nice thing about heavy armor is that, well, the nice thing about heavy armor is that it's really strong. Alright, so that is our bomber, but I wanted to show off the circling bomber, because the circling bomber is good. Alright, so I'm gonna need to... Wow, I really set myself up for failure here, didn't I? Alright, so we're gonna adjust this a little bit. We are going to change this to... like so. Hold on. Make sure I save this, because I save it. And we're going to add on top some extra gantries. I think we only need one. And then we're going to flesh this out, because it's important. It's important, very important. Right, gonna do this. There's no specific, you don't have to do what I'm doing right now, but I like to do it because I think it's good. Gonna make this thing an ugly a very ugly hunchback. Very ugly indeed. Let's save that as example bar 2 before I forget. And we're gonna show the absolute horseradish. That is, the orbiting bomber, because I've made some... This is actually pretty similar to the one I made before. Right, that looks not tidy, so we're going to fix that. Also, for the love of everything, if you really want to make sure that your damn bomber is safe, you want to armor... You do want to armor the custom jets better than what I've done. Alright, so there, we're going to have a variable thruster and fins, and spare used for fuel... And instead of a wait, did this have a reinforced body the whole time? That was very silly. Let's see here. What do we want here? We want... We want fuel. Actually, we'll have a 1 turn. It doesn't really need one, because this is, well... This is a radar-guided missile. Oh, wait, no. Signal processor. There we go. Signal processor there. Yes, okay, that's good. And that'll be absolutely fine. And now that we've done that, we're going to mess with this a little bit. And we're going to set this to 2,000 meters will probably be just fine. Maybe 2,000, yeah, 2,000 meters. And we'll have this thing, we are going to change this thing's behavior from attack run to circle. And the circling distance is going to be like that, like that, like that. Altitude... Just ignore altitude, I guess. Maybe altitude relative to target. No. Ignore altitude, just fly high, damn it. Alright, so, and just to not confuse myself, I'm going to change the camo on this thing to something else. Let's do camo... Navy... 1? Yay, Navy 1. Perfect. So this is very, very strong, so... What are we going to do here? We're going to do this, and we're going to throw this at something that would probably want to kill us, and was probably capable of it. Let's throw it against the halberd and see what happens. Halberd's probably going to kill us. Yeah, you see that, them bullets? Them bullets be strong. In order to make this guy extra evasive... Ah, crap. Aha, this is where you need to be a little bit different. You need to go over here and set this to be like crazy. There we go. Let's try that again. Because if you can outmaneuver a halberd shooting at you, you can probably... dodge anything. I've made, like, for those of you who have been watching me for a while, yes, this is basically the thing again. Alright, you, my friend, need to bounce up and down a lot better than what you're doing. So, you know what we can do? Is the hover controller, we can turn the gain all the way up. That did not do it. It's almost like dedicated anti-aircraft is good at shooting down vehicles. Oh well. Let's try that against something that's less good at shooting down aircraft so I don't embarrass myself. Alright, let's shoot at... what is a good thing? Pulse stave, Jormungand, parapet. What is that one thing? Poseidon, Mace, Basilica. Actually, you know what would be a good idea? Basilica. I think I am going to altitude relative to target. And it has a lambs, but not much of one. There we go. That's a good illustration of an orbiting bomber type thing. You have gone too far, sir. Also gonna need to put a ramp time on this guy, otherwise it's gonna be bad. Wait. Navy 1 is nothing. Oh, it's naval! There we go. Naval 2, Naval 3. There we go, Naval 3. Look at our naval. Look at our naval. So yeah, this kind of bomber, don't be fooled by its performance against the halberd, is generally the more reliable one, because it means you don't fly straight over the top of it and die instantly. I should probably show off what happens. I should probably show off what happens to the regular bomber when should probably show off what happens with the regular fellow when you try and use it against the halberd. There we go. And the halberd. Where is the halberd? It's not there. It is there. There's the halberd. Go for it, my lads. Undercosting. So yeah, we immediately got hit. Let's see, what's happening to you? Are you going to be able to maneuver over the target? No, you're not. You are having a bad day. It's almost like flying straight over the top of something is a terrible idea if it's shooting at you. How are you doing? You are burning to death. That's very nice. Yeah, so, in case you're wondering what a good anti-air shell is, timed APHE is actually really good. The Onyx Watch uses it to pretty devastating effect, honestly. Annoyingly, all of this... Are you actually dropping... Are you firing your missiles, sir? Yes, you are. Hopefully they don't get stuck. There we go. Ah, some of them are being confused. That's very bad. Aha, burn. So anyway, that's two, not one, but two ways to make a bomber from scratch. Although really, it's more like two kinds of bomber. I don't like this Navy thing. Let's do Arctic 2. Arctic 2 is my absolute favorite camouflage. Never go wrong with it. Never ever go wrong with it. Hell yeah. Did you just get shot out of the sky completely? No, you didn't. Oh, look at you dodging stuff like crazy. Where's my other bomber? You are having a very bad day. That's what you are dead. Ah, death spiraling. What you gonna do? Anyway, bombers will bomb. Be sure to bomb peacefully in the society you live in. It's very important. And yeah, let's turn that off. Let's see how much we are burning. A lot of fuel. This is not the most material efficient custom jet in the world ever made. Oh no! The thing has decoys. Powerful decoys. Powerful decoys that we cannot handle. Oh well, we'll bomb this thing eventually. So anyway, did I remember to put a signal processor on this? That was probably important. Yes, there we go. Yay! Alright, so this thing is jumping up and down in a way designed to make everybody sick. So we'll look at the missiles instead. Are any of them actually going to fly on target? Yes, they are. We burn, baby, burn. So yeah, if this video was helpful, do say so, and if it wasn't, say why not. And if you learned absolutely nothing and knew everything already, well, I hope you have a very good day anyway. I'm slowing down time so we can appreciate our bomber a little bit better. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Support me on Patreon or YouTube membership if you like. It really helps, and there's fun perks in it for you. Like at the lowest tier, a Patreon-exclusive Discord, and at higher tiers, I will review your ships, I will build you ships, and I'll even draw stuff for you, because by the way, I draw. Everyone go subscribe to my art channel, Border Art, just because if you like to put me on as background noise, I make much of the same amusing noises drawing pictures as I do working on From the Depths. And check out my second channel, Border RRR, Twitch, VODs, all that stuff. I stream on Twitch regularly. I have a schedule even. Links are all in the description. Go read. And I hope you have a wonderful day building little planes in this 3D modeling software disguised as a video game. And I will see you next time in From the Depths. Farewell. Alas, alackaday, burning a metal thing to death takes time.